Well, continuing here at Castle Combe for the Jaguar Enthusiast Club Track Day and Car Show, I'm joined by Neil Blacksill to talk about a Jaguar Mark II, but not just any ordinary Jaguar Mark II. There's something special about this. Neil, tell us how this project came about, first of all.
Well, basically I was stuck for a project to do because my parents weren't very well at the time, and I spent a lot of time at their house and had a nice big garage, and my love has always been cars and especially Jaguars, and I looked for a little project to do, and I found this. Someone had already started putting a V8 supercharged engine in it and realised that it was more than they could actually cope with, and I bought it as a box of bits basically, and I then proceeded to take it apart and realised that what they'd actually done wasn't going to work. And I completely redesigned it myself and started, and I spent 8 years in my spare time building it.
Well, it's an incredible looking car, and anyone who's used to looking at a Mark II initially will start to spot some differences. First of all, there's these big wheel arches on it, and then as you look on the interior, you'll find a modern Jaguar interior. So talk us through the mechanics that are laying underneath this at the minute.
Well, basically it's running Jaguar XJR 4-litre supercharged running gear in standard form. Brakes, ABS brakes, traction control, cruise control, air conditioning, everything that an XJR has got, this has got, and a little bit more, like reversing camera, hands-free phone kit, basically everything you'd find in a modern car with the looks of an old car.
Fantastic. And so all of that went onto the original Mark II chassis, or?
Yeah, it's been modified, but basically yes, it's a lot of head scratching and a lot of alterations. One of the biggest jobs in actual fact was converting the doors to actually get all the door locks to work. Because with a modern car you've got the electronics which all talk to one another, what they call a CAN bus system, and this runs that, and if you don't run everything that's on that system, it throws faults up. So I've incorporated all the door locks, the anti-burst door locks, all those bits and pieces that you would need to do so that the computer works faultlessly. And I've been running it now for 10 years without any problems, and it's been a pleasure to drive, really, to be honest.
Well, it's a phenomenal looking car, and it must handle really nicely with all the power there, and I suppose that engine's quite a lot lighter than the original Mark II lump, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still a pretty heavy engine, but it is a bit lighter. I think this car weighs in at about 1,400 kilos, which is just under 1.5 tonne, I suppose, which is, I think the original was about 1,700. So, or the XJR is about 1,700 in standard form. So the power to weight ratio is quite reasonable.
Obviously it's been finished for some time now. You must have had a fantastic sort of life with it. Tell us some of your best memories of taking this car out and enjoying it.
Oh, it's not even so much the enjoyment I get out of it, it's the enjoyment of seeing the look on people's faces. I've had people fall off pavements trying to get their camera out their pocket to take pictures as they go past.
Brilliant.
And when I was building it, I thought, I had a feeling that it would cause a lot of controversy. I'd never believed I would get so many people that loved it so much. I've got followers all around the world that literally have been following it since I first posted it on Facebook, actually, and it's phenomenal. You know, you would never believe a car could bring so many people together, you know.
Well, it's great as well because you've got those lovely 1960s looks of the Mark II saloon, but underneath all of the modern Jaguar as well, and all of, I guess, the reliability that comes with it. So it's a great package, isn't it?
Yeah. And the thing is, it's surprising. We always used to think that Mark II Jaguar was quite a big car, But in actual fact, when you put it up against modern day cars, it's quite a small car actually. But yeah, we get a lot of enjoyment out of it. I towed my caravan to Silverstone with it for the Classic Grand Prix virtually every year. Unfortunately this year we couldn't. It's one of those things. You know, I use it as an everyday car when I'm not driving my van for work. So it's we've got another car as well, but it's still, you know, if it rains or it snows, it doesn't stop me from using it.
That's the great thing about it, isn't it? And of course, we've enjoyed it in the Jaguar Enthusiast Club for some time. We've had it at the NEC, Classic Motor Show, and as you say, it always brings joy to lots of people. And I think it's nice anyway to see a Mark II, but when you look at the engineering that you've put into this car, that's phenomenal as well. And it must be a real proud achievement for you.
Yes, it is. I know that there will always be the purists that don't like it. But there's an awful lot of purists that have said to me, I shouldn't like this, but I love it. And that, I think, speaks a volume in itself. You know, Jaguars have always, to a certain extent, been a bit of a snooty crowd from the point of view that they love their Jags, and you mess with them and you do it at your peril.
You can't perfect perfection and all of that, yeah.
I seem to have got away with it with this one. So.
No, you certainly have, and we love it. And it's great to see you here with the car at Castle Combe. Neil Blaxill, thanks very much.
Thank you very much.